Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to talk about like the one change that I do like regarding the Bass Pro Tour, which they are going back to the catch, weigh, release, catch as many 2+ pounders as possible. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You guys grew up on, catching 5 per event, catch the biggest weight possible, which there is definitely an art in that. But I will tell you that the catch, weigh, release format's a different flavor for the industry. I believe it's a great thing. And I was kind of sad and bummed out to see that they were going to do away with it last year. But I can tell you that changing it back I think is going to be a good thing for them, because when they changed it over to 5 fish, I don't think they can compete with bass providing the same format, because you're missing that fan engagement at the very end of the tournament. Seeing the guys come in, weighing in their fish on stage. I mean, there's nothing like it. I can tell you, both as a spectator of the sport, I love watching big fish getting caught and brought to the scales. Also, it feels super good when you catch a big bag and you come back and man, that's a feeling like you're on top of the world, man. That's why one of the things that I love about fishing tournaments. So anyway, going back to the Bass Pro Tour, catch, weigh, release, that format, I can tell you, man, it is so much harder than catching 5 fish. How do I know that? Well, my first year on the pro circuit, I was fortunate enough to qualify twice. So I think they were short about 4 spots, and they gave it to the 4 highest finishers on the Bass or the pro circuit. So I finished 6th. There was 2 Bass Pro Tour guys in front of me, so I got the 4th spot. And then the second event, that was at Smith. The second event was at Lake Murray, and I finished 6th there as well. And I believe there was 3 Bass Pro Tour guys in that top 6, so I was the 3rd guy in. Anyway, got to fish, what was it, Harris Chain and then Lake Chickamauga. And, 2 in a row. I thought, yeah, man, I know how to catch some fish. It's a different format, but honestly, again, you never know what to expect until you actually fish it. So going into it, at Harris Chain, I had a good first day. I just didn't fish clean. Just trying not to get penalized, trying to not let the fish hit the mat. You're not allowed to use a net. Took me a while to get used to the rules and that format. But what I found was these guys can catch them. I mean, there's 3 periods, and if you fall behind one period, you might be in like that 12th, 10th to 15th spot. You fall behind both periods, you got no shot in making the cut. So unless you catch them really good in one of the 3 periods. But anyway, knowing that format, and then now being a little bit more educated on how it all works, I fished, my regular season events, and really got to thinking, it's like, man, it's hard to catch a bunch of 12+ pounders all day. It is much harder to go out there and catch a bunch of 2 pounders and try to stay on them all day long versus just going out there, fishing, relax, catching, 5 fish. I mean, in our format, sometimes you just got to go out there and get 5 to 8 bites, and you get the right bites, you have a good bag. Where in those events, it's hard to stay and fish all day long. They're not always going to be biting. Your fish, your school that you find might move. The conditions change. You got to adapt and adjust. And plus, you got that extra day off in between events that can really throw off your pattern. And your ability to go out there and adjust to the conditions is so much more important in those events than just our traditional 5-fish format. So I see a lot of comments, and I tell you what, when I see those comments like, oh, it's easy to go out there and catch 2+ pounders, man, I want you guys to think about something. When you go out there, I'm not talking about your local lake that I'm talking about when you travel, a few plus hours away from your home lakes on bodies of water that you don't normally fish, and then fish. I'm talking about tournament days. I'm not even talking about practice. I'm talking about tournament days. How often that you go out there and catch a bunch of 2+ pounders? I mean, be honest. I mean, I'm saying this from a guy who I believe I fished 48 days on tour, and I brought in a limit 47 days. Most of those 47 days is a struggle just to catch a limit. You know, sometimes I'm catching only 5. Sometimes, I'm catching 7 or 8, but usually it's anywhere from 8 to 12. And, I consider that a decent day. And again, I'm not one of those guys that pick up a drop shot that often or a finesse. I'm a power fisherman. So with that being said, maybe your strategy is different or how you fish is different. Maybe you use your electronics and only fish for big schools. Again, I'm just telling you from my experience, I found that it's so much harder to go out there and catch a bunch of 2+ pounders and try to stay on them all day. And, I would argue, I know enough guys, I talk to enough guys, when we fish out there that, although they have a good bag on paper, it was a struggle out there. They only caught 6 or 7 fish. I want to say that a lot of the field, a good percentage of the field is going to struggle just to even catch a limit. So, remember when you turn on TV, they're showing you the guys that are really on them, the top 10 guys that they're constantly filming. It's easy when you turn on MLF Live and watch, guys just smashing them. But the other 90% of the guys are really struggling out there to figure things out. And on top of that, these guys are the best anglers in the world. I mean, these are the best of the best out there competing. So just want to kind of straighten that out, give you guys my insight on the Bass Pro Tour versus the traditional 5-fish format. Again, I can promise it actually drives me crazy when people think that, oh, it's easier. It's not. Just kind of want to give you my insight. I actually worked on this post a while back, but I just didn't like how it was going to come across. I was thinking about man, I'm an MLF guy talking about the different formats, and I didn't think that the public was going to look favorably on that. I didn't want to make it appear like I'm bashing bass because I'm an MLF guy, saying how it is, telling you how it is. But now that, I'm not affiliated, I can just speak freely and just tell you guys the truth. And that's just the truth. I just kind of wanted to get that information out there. So that is one change that I'm glad that they're going to, because I think, I'm thinking not in terms just for myself, I'm thinking in terms for the fans of the sport out there. I like different flavors, if you will. I like the fact that people have a choice, I like the fact that could potentially grow the sport for the viewers at home. It is really exciting watching it. When I watched it this year and they changed it over to the 5-fish format, the drama, suspense of who's in, who's out just wasn't there. So now, being a 5-fish guy, if I was competing in tournaments, I'd rather catch 5, flat out. But watching it, I just like having both. Sometimes I feel like, depending on what lake it is, I like watching big bass getting caught. I want to see what your biggest 5 are. And then, on lakes where there's not a lot of big fish, where ounces is going to separate you, then in that case, I just like, seeing a guy get on a school and just break apart from the crowd. Because on a lake where 13, 14 pounds is going to do good, I don't care about your best 5. I just care about who's catching the most. So again, that's just my thought process on that. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I'm hoping I don't get some flack for this, but I got a feeling like that a lot of folks out there aren't going to get what I'm trying to explain here, and that's okay. But again, I just want to get that information out there, just some food for thought. But anyway, thanks for following in that last video. I did a lot better than I hope I would. I was hoping only for like 200 views, and I think I checked this morning. To my surprise, we're at like 1,700 views. And again, YouTube is something that I kind of dabbled in and out, did some highlight videos in the past, but just being so busy, I just didn't. Just a thought process of taking on another project is so time consuming, because the truth of the matter is I get up, usually I'm up by 3 o'clock in the morning. If I sleep till 4, that's like sleeping into me. I think last week there was a couple mornings that I got up at 2. I'm just so wound up with work and just everything going on out there that, again, just taking on more projects, being busier. Again, it might be a good thing for me to keep me distracted. But yeah, the last few weeks has been very stressful because I didn't know if I was going to get into the opens. I didn't know what to expect. So I really didn't know what I was going to do if I don't get in. I didn't want to go support the decision that they made on the MLF side, and I wanted to take a stand in some way. So most likely what I would have done is stay out west and fish out here just for a year to kind of recoup. But that made me concerned about the sponsorship side of things. Didn't know if I was going to be able to retain them. With bass, how I look at it is, hey, we got 9 opportunities out there to go promote for my partners. We're going to be out there more. They got live coverage now, so I don't feel like I'm losing anything. And on top of that, looks like bass has a huge following, and I'm excited to go out there and just kind of fish and support a trail that I've never been a part of before. Believe it or not, the last time I was a bass member was probably, I think, close to 20 years ago. So I just got my lifetime membership. My son's got his. He's doing the Bassmaster Juniors. So we're both members now, and I'm going to promote any trail that I fish like I've always done. So get ready, because I'm coming, and hopefully I can show them what I'm capable of and have a good year. So anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.